This is not about the provision of medical assistance. We have no problem with medical assistance. We have a problem with doctors. We have a problem, and I'm not speaking about Jamaica.
Hello once again. Welcome back to the channel. I'm June. I'm super excited to be here talking with you at this time. Oh yes, it's a lot of things that went on yesterday. Remember I told you that the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, would have been visiting with us in our island of Jamaica yesterday, March 26, 2025. Oh yes, it did come. And was it a meeting? It was a very, very, very good meeting. And of course, we had overseas reporters here. Yes, overseeing the meeting, making their criticisms, asking the relevant questions, maybe questions that we would have been afraid to ask. But yes, they were here in my country, Jamaica. Marco Rubio, U.S. Secretary of State, he was here. We'd say Marco Rubio was in the building. And of course, our own Mayor Motley of Barbados, as well as other representatives from other countries in the region, members of Caricom. They were all here in my country. And of course, you know, we look forward to hear what our Prime Minister had to say on a certain matter. Will he forego his U.S. visa and preserve the health sector, or will he keep it and sabotage the health sector of the country, or will he stand with us? Will he stand with the Prime Minister of Barbados?
Barbados does not currently have Cuban medical staff or Cuban nurses, but I will be the first to go to the line and to tell you that we could not get through the pandemic without the Cuban nurses and the Cuban doctors.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines and other Caribbean countries, they were present. They wanted to hear firsthand what the Secretary of State for the U.S. had to say. They did not want any heresies. They wanted to be here. They were invited to be here, to be part of the discussion that was taking place. And I am sure that in that meeting, all of them had their say and were very proud to be representing their country in this very important meeting that was taking place.
Jamaica stood firm and walked away with a win. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio came to Jamaica with questions, pressure, and a message. The United States has serious concerns about Cuba's medical program and the countries that benefit from it. The quiet threat, visa bans, economic pressure, punishment. But what happened inside that room likely surprised even seasoned diplomats,
who were probably quite worried or afraid of Marco Rubio.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness didn't flinch. He calmly laid out Jamaica's case. We follow the law. We respect international labor rules. The Cuban doctors here are protected, respected, and most importantly, they're needed.
Our Prime Minister was very clear, unflinching. He made known the fact that Jamaica has a deficit in health personnel. Oh yes, that's what he told at joint press conference with Rubio yesterday. He told the conference that Jamaica ensures that the Cubans are treated within our labor laws and benefit from our laws like any other worker. He further pointed out that any characterization of the program by others certainly would not be applicable to Jamaica because Jamaica observes international labor laws. And that's a big, big win for the country. Because yes, the U.S. was trying to back us against a wall, telling us that, hey, look, you will have to part company with the Cuban doctors and nurses who are working in the country.
And Rubio, he listened. That moment in Kingston flipped the script. Rubio admitted Jamaica's program is different.
In my opinion, Mr. Rubio was taken aback by the assertiveness of the Jamaican Prime Minister. Yes, I think he figured that, we were just a rollover. We would just lay on our backs like happy dogs and accept whatever they throw at us. But no. Our Prime Minister stood up yesterday because we were really concerned about his position on the matter, Yes, he was keeping tight-lipped. We were not getting anything from him. But he must be lauded because yesterday he stood with us. He stood by us. And in the end, Mr. Rubio said that every country operated the program differently. That is the medical program or whatever category of workers were involved in labor movements.
He promised to review it with fresh eyes. In short, Jamaica didn't fold and the US backed off, at least for now.
One of the popular newspapers in Jamaica, a few days back, earlier this month, had reported that Cuba's leaders rejected the US's stance as Rubio's personal agenda based on falsehood and said the measure could affect millions of healthcare beneficiaries. That's what Cuba's leaders were saying. So earlier this month, Jamaica Foreign Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith told reporters her government was concerned about the accusation and the presence of some 400 Cuban doctors, nurses, and medical technicians was important for Jamaica's healthcare system. So we had something to take to the meeting. We had a bone to crack. We must keep the healthcare workers. Our healthcare sector is dependent on these Cuban medics, and so we must fight to keep them.
It's not about doctors. This is not about the provision of medical assistance. We have no problem with medical assistance. We have a problem with doctors. We have a problem, and I'm not speaking about Jamaica. We've discussed this today about, following international labor standards and the like, but I'm just talking about this program in general, how it's operated around the world.
Yes, Mr. Rubio, we hear you, but this is none of our concern. We are adhering to international labor laws. We are not violating any laws. And so we choose to keep the Cuban doctors. They are important to our medical sector, and we have a long-standing relationship with Cuba. So yes, we are prepared to forego U.S. visas. Yes, that's what our official ministers are saying. Because if that is the choice that they have to make, it is clear that they are saying we are prepared to forego our visas to the U.S. and to keep the Cuban doctors, and that they hope that this situation can be settled amicably and everybody wins. My name is June. I'm in Jamaica. Yes, I think this is the last topic I will do on this matter, as the president has visited, and it seems as though our prime minister now has decided that he is going to stand with us. We were not sure what side of the fence he was on. We were not sure whether he was going to give up the Cuban workers. But we are sure now that he is willing to stand with us and for us, and to let his voice be heard for us, his citizens. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you very much for your stance yesterday. Respect. Have a good evening, everyone. I'll catch you again on another video. Please support the channel. Bye-bye.